Now, typically when we think of economics, the words that come to our minds are GDP, inflation, money, prices. But economics is much more vast. It asks much bigger questions. So questions like, as a society, how do we decide collectively to provide for our needs, and potentially how do we grow? Who is going to produce what? How are things going to be produced? Who will get parts of the total social product? These are some of the big questions that economics actually engages with. So for instance, we have a course on the history of economic thought that exposes students to the different schools of thought that have existed in economics from the very sort of origins of the discipline. We also have courses that sort of dig deep into some of these schools of thought, courses like feminist economics and political economy. So in political economy, for instance, that's a course that I teach. The aim is to understand the economy through the prism of power. So apart from all of this theoretical engagement though, we also think it's very important to test the theory, right? So the point of theory is to understand reality. So we do equip our students as much as possible to undertake this sort of analysis of the real world outside of the classroom. So one part of this is that we get students to learn the tools of engaging with secondary data, big data sets, and we sort of give them both the statistical tools to engage with this and the computational coding related tools that help this kind of analysis. The idea is we want to equip students to be able to draw out relationships between different types of phenomena. This is one way of looking at the real world, and this is what will give students typically a bird's eye kind of perspective onto the economy. But we also want them to have a worm's eye perspective into the economy, and to do that we have a course on field practice in which we basically send students out to rural locations across the country. We partner with organizations that are engaged in sort of groundwork oriented towards social change, and our students go out and sort of assist organizations with the projects that are already underway. And in the process, we hope that students are able to interact with local communities and observe sort of how socioeconomic structures really play out. How do people earn their livelihoods? What are the things that matter to people and what doesn't? How does the state actually function on the ground? How existent or non-existent is it? And how do people engage with the state on a daily basis? So these are some of the observational skills that we think help enrich our students' understanding of their theoretical lenses as well, and ultimately sort of prepare our students to become better policy advisors, simply because we hope that they come back with better sense of what economic reality is like for most of this country. My own research is in political economy. I use the methodological tools of fieldwork and the theoretical framework of political economy to better understand the Indian development process. I became interested in economics because I just wanted to understand Indian society. I wanted to understand why our economic development has been so unequal. I'm very passionate about my work, about teaching and research, but that's not all that I'm passionate about. I love books. It's really one of the first friendships that I made in life was with books. I started out by reading Enid Blyton and Roald Dahl and J.K. Rowling. I made so many friends because of Harry Potter. And then I sort of graduated to reading, Jane Austen, the Bronte sisters, etc. I remember after the 10th class boards, there was this one summer in which I was free and I would just read one book a day. It was the best summer of my life. Of course, this is pre-smartphone days, so all our attention spans were also, intact. I also really love music. So I did my PhD at the New School for Social Research in New York, and when I was there, I got the chance to meet and become friends with people from around the world. And of course, that meant getting to learn so much more about their cultures, etc. And one of the things that I really enjoyed was listening to everyone's music. So I got to listen to a lot of fantastic artists from the Middle East, Fairuz, Kulthum, Ethiopian jazz, all that kinds of stuff. But of course, Bollywood music has a special place in my heart. I can beat anyone at Antakshari, I firmly believe that. Really, there's just so much beauty and joy, whether it is through books or through music or through art, history. I feel like all of these things teach us so much about ourselves, about, who we are collectively, both in the past and today. And all of that just, it's great in and of itself. And it's really important to find beauty and joy in life. It also helps you think in the big picture. I feel like all of these are essential to life. They are not extras. They are what make us us, both personally and, in terms of our work.